G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a select blaster. Right now it is configured into an air pistol form with stun darts attached to it, but it can be reconfigured into a more lethal device. Now this thing is based off Lucy's pistol from the Fallout Amazon Prime TV show, which I won't be spoiling during this video, so if you haven't seen it, you don't have to worry about spoilers here. I will talk about, though, the little trailer that they released before releasing the show where Lucy shoots the ghoul with it and he pulls the tranquilizer dart out of his arm and says, oh, this is a small drop in a big bucket of drugs or something like that. And yeah, so if he can stun ghouls with this thing, then we're in a pretty good spot. But there's a whole lot of customization. It's got custom sounds, of course, and lots of animations to go with it. And let's get into it. Firstly, we've got the calibration. The close quarters one will allow for better hipfire accuracy and aiming speed, which is meh, I guess. The reduced weight version allows you to maybe use it as a utility weapon if weight is a huge problem. Say if you've got a low strength character on survival mode and you need a quick utility weapon, 3.2 weight is actually pretty good. But the strongest here is the range one. At range level 3 calibration, we get 341 range, which is going to be pretty much enough to hit anything guaranteed within VATS distance. So sure, that's the strongest one. We'll use that one. Next, we've got the barrels. And here's the thing about the barrels is you can have any which version you want out of these. And it's all just cosmetic. They all do the same thing. So pick one which you want. This one looks like it's ported from a DL44. Never tell me the odds. Yep, I recognize that Star Wars reference when I see it, but there's heaps. Pick what you want because this is all aesthetic and no change to the actual thing itself. I think I'll just leave this as standard, to be honest. And now you can change the grip. You can have standard, classic, tactical, comfort, light, or commanding. We'll throw the commanding one on. Again, it's just a style thing. It's cosmetic, so make it look like how you want. That's not actually going to change this thing's performance. Next, we've got the receivers, or the tranquilizers, I guess. So it's got the tranquilizers on now. Stuns target for 15 seconds, which is a very long time in a firefight, so that's pretty cool. We've also got the syringer, which allows you to load custom syringer-style tranquilizers. Interesting. There's also energy versions, which you can allow this to be a straight-up lethal weapon with 196 on the ballistic damage, which is actually very, very strong indeed. This one has extra critical shot damage. That's very good. Boosted maximum. So we're pretty much following the exact sort of thing that you'd find out of a laser gun there. There's also options for automatic versions as well. So there's plenty of stuff to go along here. An auto overcharge capacitor. Damn, that's strong. We'll throw that one on. Why not? Next, we've got the sights. You can have no sights, iron sights, alternative irons, glow sights, and there's a couple of reflex sights you might be wanting to utilize here as well. And there's also scopes for ranged applications up to long, and a couple of recon scopes to go along with it as well. All with their really cool, unique assets to utilize along with that. Let's go for a short reflex scope on this thing because, you know, VATS is good and we want to make sure we want to use that as much as possible. So it'll be more efficient with the reflex sight. Legendary effect provided by legendary modification. We'll skip that. Common handling or advanced handling. Who knows what that means? I'm guessing that's... I don't know. Actually, I've got no idea. Although it might be a visual bug that I'm getting way more rate of fire than what I'm getting, so just ignore that. And you can change the grip color. Bronze, copper, gold, iridescent, ivory, leather, leather light, rubber, steel, white, wood, blue, stained, red. You name it, it's there. Let's go for some classy ivory. Hopefully it's fake ivory, so no elephants were hurt during the making of this. And yeah, the same colors you can put on the barrels. Let's make a sort of black and white approach here. I like the select version there. That's cool. Now you can have some sort of badge logo on it, but at this point I haven't actually located where exactly the thing is. So let's throw on something like Brotherhood of Steel. If you can find it, please leave a comment in this web zone. Next, you've got the steels, not Brotherhood of Steel. This is different steel. You change the color of that upper receiver there. Let's make it select. Next, we've got the metals. Again, that's more cosmetic stuff. Let's make this one iridescent. Or maybe gunmetal's nice. No, let's go iridescent. And accents, make those gold. Give it a little bit of pip. There we go. A little bit of Vault-Tec blue, maybe, if you squint. And some gold to go along with it. And that is our select blaster. Now, a proper blaster now instead of a stun rate. I'm going to check this out as a stun weapon, but let's go over crafting this thing and obtaining it. In order to find the select blaster in Fallout 4, you must go into Vault 114. It's the dramatic lighting room where you'll find Nick Valentine during the main quest Unlikely Valentine here on the map. But if you've played Fallout 4 and you've completed it, you already know where this is. And you'll find Nick Valentine standing in this exact spot. And there's a reason the lighting's like this. The game needs to make you understand that he's some sort of robot man. So he'll be standing here, completely dark. The only thing that's lighting him are his glowing red eyes. He also has a cigarette too, despite, you know, being a machine and not having lungs to actually consume that cigarette. But once you're done talking to him, he flicks that cigarette away, and you never see him smoking or doing anything like that again. So I'm guessing that's just there for dramatic lighting effect. If I turn around just a little bit slightly, we can see the light is sort of pointing from nowhere in particular. But there's even a cool shadow to go along with it, but that's just a kind of an interesting tidbit. Anyways, you'll find the select blaster on the wall. Here it is in a weapon case. It contains a sweet animation. Check it out. And there you have it. And that'll allow you to do crafting stuff on a chemistry workbench as well. So let's go check that out. And here's the select blaster on the chemistry workbench. You can make the weapon through adhesive, rubber, screws, and steel. Yep, that's pretty easy. And the syringes, proprietary ammo type. For adhesive, rubber, screw, and steel, you can get 5 syringes per pop, which is interesting. I would have thought that you'd be using the syringes from the syringe rifle, but nope, that's not the case. Righto, welcome back to the Immersive Gunners Plaza. You notice how the weapon handling is pretty fancy. That's what that attachment point is for. If I don't have the advanced weapon handling, that's what the animations look like. So that's what it means when it talks about weapon handling, which in retrospect seems obvious, but now I know for sure, right? Anyway, so this is what the select blaster looks like in third person. It's got that gold accent and also matching yellow/orange laser beams. That's cool. With lots of fire rate, and the recoil is not too bad either, so yeah, okay, that seems pretty powerful so far. This one here is a semi-auto version, obviously heavily inspired from a DL44. I've got a scope on this thing and the DL44 barrel, and rate of fire can be as good as you can pull the trigger, but the recoil is going to make it a little bit hard to control with rapid firing, so just be on the lookout for that. This one here, basically as stock as it is in the show with the stun darts in it, but, you know, this thing not being a lethal weapon, it might be used to slow something down. And lastly, this one does use the injectables. The only new ones that I recognize are these throbbing taser syringes and the standard taser syringes, which are of limited use, to be honest, but I'll show you what they can do, so we'll load them in. And we'll get shooting with this thing, but not now. We'll start off with sniper status version here. We're going to watch out on how many rounds we use out of this thing, although something tells me that we'll be just fine. Anyways, let's begin. Now, for some reason, they've given this ballistic damage on it because I don't know. That's a good thing for me because that means we're not missing out on any potential damage with any energy weapon weird damage calculations. If I want, I could slow this down too. It's like the muzzle brake here is pushing the muzzle too far down. That's odd. Not extremely efficient in VATS despite being a pistol, but we are using a scoped version, of course. Obviously, with Gunslinger, we got the chance to disarm our targets, like you've just seen with our 2 past gunners that we've shot at. And I think there's a bloody mantis there. Get out of here. Oh, this thing sounds cool in slow motion. I'll give it that. Anyways, back over the automatic. What are they annoyed at? I'm not getting my sneak criticals, or I'm not going to get them now because I'm currently in danger. But yeah, this thing, when set to lethal, it's strong, very strong. I think I just shot that guy's grenade out of his hand. So we're not going to have any problems here. I think the only problem we'll have is the amount of ammo that I've carried in. It's not going to last forever. But say we need to get some stunning done. Interesting. Hang on. I can't fire. Maybe we'll just Use a little bit of gun fu here. You next, you're close, and then it'll be a crit for him. Stop him shooting at me. Well, that was a hit, at least. So as it turns out, our stun dart's pretty effective against our gunner foes, which means I can just walk up to them leisurely and hit them like that. So obviously, if this thing isn't outright killing stuff, there's a lot of potential to be using it as a utility weapon to stun big targets or high priority targets. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to go against something like a Deathclaw or a Behemoth. We might explore that a little bit later on, but if you can knock down some of your more faster moving or dangerous targets, then it buys you time, and you obviously don't need to worry about those bigger targets if you can stun them. Good utility value. Alright, let's move over to our fully GoldenEye version, one with our Tesla syringes. Well, it knocked them down, it certainly tased them, and I didn't expect the rate of fire to be so strong, but I'm thinking with this one being like an air-powered thing, it'll be super silent as well. Not... I mean, it's gonna hit them and knock them down. That's as good as stunning as you're gonna get, but I wouldn't mind there to be a little bit of, whoops, I guess we'll go bleed out syringe now. I wouldn't mind, if there was some sort of... Oh, okay, so it does the base damage and then the extra as well. Well, I don't know, that's kind of interesting. I keep going for a reload, even though I've got just one left. Right now, obviously, the extra 30 damage is going to be minuscule, but I think it's just easier to load this thing with fusion cells if you want something to kill with ease. Should be getting crits now. Oh, yeah. So, I think, you know, for a weapon as powerful it is end game, like if Lucy can go to a weapons workbench and spruce it up a little bit, then she might have a little less trouble that you might find herself in the wasteland. I'll just say that, but I will speak of the show no further. So, its function in the show, as is, you can replicate it well, but it's a lot easier just to shoot people with its more lethal settings, I'd think. So, yeah, so there's a little bit of utility, a little bit of versatility in this gun, which is always a nice thing to see. You don't get many stun ray weapons. Usually everything's just out to kill stuff, which, yeah, it does well, but it can also do different things, you know? And also you can use it to, like, I don't know, troll NPCs if you feel like it. You can torment Piper by stunning her over and over and over. Alright, well, we're finished here. The Immersive Gunners Plaza's slaughtered, and I was gonna use a face preset for Lucy from the show, but I was browsing the mods on the Nexus, and, well, they didn't really do much for me, so I'll just show you exactly what I found. So there's this one. There's also this one. And this one, which I think is the best, but I don't have the hairstyle mod that actually gets this going right. So if I use, that particular hairstyle for this face, it usually looks alright, but honestly, that's not her body type at all, so let's just leave this at winter. Obviously, I went for the Fallout-inspired look here, the show, but it's a 111 jumpsuit. You can't see it because I got that bag on, also a 111 on the bag, and went for a leather armor thing, but the Vitor jumpsuit, a little bit more voluptuous, so that's clipping, but you probably didn't even notice that until now, did you? Never mind. It's fine. It looks sort of like Fallout genuine, doesn't it? Okay, there is the mighty Swan over there, and he got his blowing up mate here in oh, it stunned the super mutant. Great. Alright, looks like we're using pretty advanced stuff then. Is it going to stun the Swan? No, it's not. Can't say that I'm surprised on that outcome. Anyways, have some crits, friend. And let me just get this reload done. Keep critting. Keep them coming. And the mysterious stranger is showing up to ruin my crit streak. Very well. Let's just get him out there, and the job should be done momentarily. It's like a full auto laser Glock. It's awesome. I think balance-wise, I wouldn't expect a little stun dart to drop a big behemoth like that, so that might be where we draw the line, but against a giant upscaled ghoul, maybe we'll find a little bit more success. So we'll move on from the swan. He goes down, and we'll go and find out what happens when we try to stun a giant ghoul. Okay, so there's the ghoul. He's going to take out some of his friends, his insect friends over there, and don't think it's a hit scan weapon, so we got to watch where we actually shoot this thing. Well, that's not good. Maybe I should just use slow motion to aim. Oh yeah, he is down for the count. Great, that means I can just shoot him in the face, like this. Mutated. That's like a 15-second stun too, so I got time to like Fortnite dance before I finish him off. Okay, well obviously an upscaled version of that is going to be susceptible to that. I don't know if it goes off keywords or something, but that definitely works. We've got, what? Just under 500 left, so maybe we'll take on a giant Deathclaw. We haven't done that in a while. All right, let's find ourselves a giant Deathclaw or 3, and I kind of don't expect this to work, but I'm gonna give it a crack anyway. So there's a couple of mythic Deathclaws. We can start off small and see what we can do, but if this ends up stunning them, oh my goodness. Okay. That bodes extremely well for me, because I got time to juggle all of these guys by the time... What are you doing? I think I may have double hit that guy, but you get the idea. Anyways, we'll go over to a semi-automatic pistol and then start shooting them in the bellies where they are most vulnerable. And by the time they've got themselves up, I think we'll be ready to take on the big boy. And just before he does, let's just wait here a second. Wonder if it resets the timer if I do that. It might, you know. Okay, the fact that you can stun Deathclaws with these might be bordering on overpowered. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot him with all of the crits I've got. I don't know if this is actually faster than just shooting him. I suppose it's more efficient. He's slightly irradiating me. Well, mutated at this stage. I got so much time. I got all the time in the world to do this. Are you gonna bother getting up or are you just gonna quit? I wonder if it stacks. It might stack, you know. Well, that was easy. Didn't expect that one to go down like that. Okay, so, I think we can safely say that this is a pretty overpowered weapon. If we can drop these guys that fast, although I do think, if they could adjust the syringe version to have the suppress keyword so you can utilize it with all your sneaky ninja perks to have it like a ultimate sneaky stealth weapon, because I believe Metro has some sort of super stealthy dart weapon as well. So I think maybe the biggest couple of monsters that you'll find in this game, you won't be able to use the stun thing on, like Mylurt Queens and Behemoths. I would have assumed that the big three, like including Deathclaws, would be like impervious to it, but no. I might actually go test it on my Alert Queen. I'll be right back. This will take 2 seconds. Okay, there's our beastie. Didn't have to go down to Revere Beach Station because there's one right around the corner from where I was fighting. And yep, shooting the My Alert Queen. She's not getting stunned by those stun darts. No. So we're gonna shoot her instead. And job is done. I think that's an Institute Sins over there, so get out of here. A couple more over there. Get a little bit of a snipe on. We'll sort them out. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, well, I think you get the idea. I'm not going to shy away from it. This thing is one of the more overpowered energy guns that I've used on the channel over the past couple of weeks. But it's fun because, you know, you've got great utility value in this thing. You can use it as a stun ray if you feel like it's a little bit too overpowered. If you want to, like, role play as, like, a naive Vault Dweller, not like this one. This one's a trained assassin killer, man. Then you can use it there, and then maybe you could use it and just have tow around 16 NPCs to do all your killing for you and just stun targets that you want them to shoot. You know, there's plenty of things you could play around with this thing, but in terms of its damage, it's, like, basically second to none. This is going to be one of the strongest pistols getting around these days in terms of, new energy gun mods. What I think they could do to improve it is make this one that uses the syringe ammos have the suppress keyword so you can utilize it with all of your sneak perks like your ninjas and Mr. Sandmans and that sort of thing to give it more of like a stealthy role in your loadout, which I think would give it a little bit more, just another interesting way you could do it, because obviously an energy weapon being as loud and proud as it is doesn't give you the ability to be utilized stealthily. I mean, you can still use this stealthily, and I'm guessing like, you know, pretty much as you would normally, but getting those extra multipliers might entice the player to do it for slightly better rewards. But that's my 2 cents on this thing. So if you'd like to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. It'll be down there. Highly recommend to download this one. If you are unhappy with this thing being like 500 megabytes, it's a light version that clocks in at under 90 megabytes, I think, which is a lot better on your hard drive, particularly if you've got this thing on a console, for example. But check out the link in the description. It'll be down there. Thank you very much for watching, guys.